This video shows how to change Node IDs of devices in the Curtis Integrated Toolkit project. In this video, we'll refer to the toolkit by its acronym, CIT. Curtis CAN devices have parameters that store the device's Node IDs. In a CIT project, each device also has its Node ID stored as a project property. To change Node IDs, you use the programmer application to change the device's Node ID parameters. After you've changed the parameters, you then change the Node IDs stored as project properties. Do not change the project properties before changing the parameters. Start by connecting CIT to the CAN bus. How you open the programmer application depends upon whether you need to change the Node IDs for multiple devices or just one device. To change just one device's Node ID, select its device node. For example, if I only needed to change the motor controller's Node ID, I'd select its device node. To change multiple devices' Node IDs, you'll probably prefer to select the project system node. This will show the menus for all the project's devices. Since we're changing two devices' Node IDs, I'll select the system node. Open Programmer. Since we selected the system node, there are menus available for both the motor controller and code switch device. For the first device, find the parameter that specifies the Node ID. Change the parameter to the new Node ID. I'll increment it. If the device's manual indicates the device must be rebooted after the Node ID parameter is changed, cycle the key switch. The motor controller doesn't require rebooting, so we don't need to cycle the key switch. If you need to change Node IDs for other devices, repeat the previous steps. We'll now change the code switch's Node ID. Find the Node ID parameter. Change it. We'll again increment it by 1. The code switch device requires cycling the key switch after the Node ID parameter has been changed. We haven't yet cycled the key switch, so programmer indicates a parameter change fault occurred. I'll clear the fault by cycling the key switch. Once you've finished changing the Node ID parameters, close Programmer and go to Launchpad. Disconnect from the CAN bus. Open Project Explorer. Select the node for the first device to be changed. Click Edit Device. From the Node drop-down, select the new Node ID. You must use the same Node ID that you specified for the parameter. Repeat this step for any other devices. We'll do that here for the code switch. So we'll select its node. We'll select the new Node ID. Now save the project so that the Node IDs stored as project properties persist. Note that saving applies only to the Node IDs stored as project properties. The parameter values are stored on the devices, not in the project. That's all you need to do to change Node IDs in the CIT project. We hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.